So to explain what we're looking at right now, this is the beat that we was building last night. I only had four track patterns when we first started doing anything to this, and yeah, I did a whole session this morning and did a new session this afternoon, and come to find out, I had technical difficulties where I was building the beat and I could hear it, but like you guys that are watching the video was not able to. One second, got a burp. Excuse me. But yeah, so and that whole thing happened because I don't leave my interface and my mic uh, plugged in overnight. So yeah, I unhooked everything and plugged it in this morning, and then go into the sound settings and you know put everything back setting wise so that it worked on my end and on your end, essentially, right? So it wasn't playing in my headphones, but on the video when I went to rewatch it before I upload, because I always rewatch a video before I upload it, and it was playing for you guys first, but it wasn't playing in my headphones. So I fixed the problem on my end, and it caused the problem that I was experiencing on the receiving end, on your end. So yeah, I was talking and explaining everything, and doing a whole session, and yeah, it was pretty much soundless on the beat part, other than you could hear it coming through my headphones on the mic, and that's not good. Damn. Excuse me again. Hiya. So, and the same thing for the other session. I will show that one in this video too, by the way, because I built it from scratch, pretty much like I did this one. Like I said, it was only four patterns on here, so it wasn't too much to do. So it might as well have been from scratch, right? But the other one, it was completely from scratch. Like there was no instruments on there other than the bass stuff. So what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm explain everything, since I'm not gonna redo this so that you guys can see what all I'm doing, right? So I'll go in and show what I did for, I believe it was track 7. I'll show what I did because I changed that from the piano. I changed the instrument and changed the melody up on it. And for those that ow, are not familiar with FL Studios, or making a beat instrumental, or just making music in general, we'll just put it like that. If you're not familiar with making music in general, that's why the explanation is for you. For everybody else that knows how to make it, you're probably not even watching this video anyways, and if you are, or whatever, hey, that's cool too. Thank you for watching. But other than that, like the whole explanation part is not really for people that know how to do this stuff. It's just for people that might be curious, like, hey, how did you come to this conclusion, get this to do that, whatever. I feel like people that make beats or whatever on camera should do that sometimes. If they do that, like, explain it to your audience, because you never know. There might be people that don't know how to do that stuff. Explain it. But anyways, I'm not gonna talk your ear off. I will pick up the mic though, so that I can talk while we listen to this and hear what I'm doing. What all I'm gonna say what all we did. All right. So yeah, without further ado, excuse me. So the intro part. Then we go straight into the beat. So you know, this is the verse. This will be the verse going in, right? And I let it ride for however long it is off real quick, just so we can follow along with it or whatever. But I didn't do anything too special with it. I just kept it, how I did when we had the patterns just all over here. We were just building it. And that same concept throughout the, I guess, what we would call, quote unquote, the verse part of the beat. And once we get over here, I'll explain this whole concept as well, which it won't be me talking over this, so this will be the bridge right here coming up. I'm gonna set the mic down so like I said, I changed up. I hope this echo is better. I changed up this pattern specifically for like I said, I hope I wasn't loud, like super loud on this. I kind of need like some type of monitor so I can see the volume on the mic. But yeah. Anyways, so for those that aren't musically inclined for this program or whatever, this stuff right here is pretty much self-explanatory, right? Like I took pieces of the track, which this is track 3, this is track 5, which are both claps. So track 3 in its entirety and clap 5 in its entirety. Why am I still burping? Oh my god. Excuse me. Maybe I overate. But anyways, um so yeah, both patterns. I don't know why I was about to point at the screen. You guys can't see me pointing at the screen. But anyways, both 3, 5, and 2, I believe. 2 is kind of, we did that last night with without the technical difficulties. But 3 is the kick, 5 is a clap, right? So I'm just picking and choosing whatever I wanted out of there. And that's how I placed it. Right? So the little effects that you just heard, for, like I said, those that are not familiar with FL Studio or making music or anything like that, this gross beat is that's what you're hearing right now, right? That, whoops, is, since there's 3 of them, it's 3 of them. I have 3 automations. These darker blue ones are the automations for that. And I set them in just certain spots. This one right here is the volume, right? All right, so I'm gonna let that play through. I'm gonna take as you see, it ran over the the cursor. This right here ran over this, and it caused the volume to go from where it was set up here, where my cursor is, to jump down here. And then what I did was set the value back. So once it goes through here, let's click it right. We'll click it right here on 8. We're back into the beat, right? Simple, simple tricks. You can do it up here, at least on the older version of FL Studios. You could. You can't do it now. I tried, or whatever. There's tricks to getting the beat, or even if you wanted the clap or a kick or whatever to do, like, pretty much it's panning, but if you wanted to bounce like this between your speaker or your headphone, there's ways of doing that too. I've done it before in the past, but it's been forever, right? So let's talk about this area right here, the bridge, right? It's a simple bridge. Excuse me. Yet again, right? So this is pattern 4. Excuse me again. The pattern 4 808, the really low 808. So the one that hits really boom, 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 right? And the other one is the 3 is the higher one, right? So that's the one I decided to play around with. I threw this one in just for the time being. Messed around with the clap for pattern 5, just in this specific area, just to throw it in back in, or throw it into the chorus. What I did was I took half of pattern 1, which is the pad that's on A, and let that be the the um the bridge, right? The reason it's just that one is because, all right, looking at how long this whole pattern is, all right, at the beginning I'm using A as the intro, and it's going straight into the beat. So the beat starts off on A technically, but that's the intro, and the verse for verse 1 starts on E. So if we was to count this, let's say bar wise, we're counting this, and I'm just gonna say that for the sake of this pattern, let's say it's 2 bars, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then 6. So if I were to let that play again, if I were to play the whole thing, then we have 7. It's an odd number, right? For the bar. It could be done. It'd probably work. I've done it. But it's not that type of beat, right? So that's why I did that with the A. I could have even let the E run, and it probably would have worked too. But the A just seemed to fit a little bit better, right? And then it goes into the chorus. Let's look at the chorus. And I'm gonna pause this right quick so it's not loud for a second. All right, so had to mute my mic so you didn't hear like doors closing and stuff like that, right? So, anyways, let's look at what I did, right? So, all right, click pattern. We're gonna go in and we're gonna look at this. Right, so I got the ARP doing the little bounce thing, right? And all I did was I mimicked the melody that the first pad was playing, right? Simple. I know I was complaining about it last night, but I mean, I was tired too. So, yeah, I'm just gonna say I was tired. I really wasn't feeling it at the moment. Coming back and looking at it with a fresh mindset kind of helped out. But anyways, yes. So that's what we did, right? And that pretty much makes up the whole entirety of the beat for this. All right. So now we're going to look at the one that I built on here from the ground up. I'm not going to save any changes. And I had to do this right here, make like a little template with my real last name because I changed my last name and it is not what my FL Studio is registered under. So yeah, that's why it does that. Because if I just use a regular pattern, this would say my old last name, and I don't like that. So yeah. So anyways, let's get into this, right? So this is gonna be. I really wish this session actually worked because this beat was one of those ones like you didn't know where I was going with it until we had the finished result, right? So let's look at, we're just gonna look at the patterns by themselves. Right? And then we got this. And it's playing the same chord as pattern one, just higher. piano. All right. And we have the Blue Sunday, which is the bass guitar. Right. We already know what the clap sounds like. We know what the 808 sounds like. Let's see what the ARP. Right. And then we have one other ARP. So that's first things first. Gotta lean back. All right. So with this damn phone right quick. That's we. Let me just set this where I'm not gonna hit the mic. There we go. All right. So yeah. So that's essentially what we have, right? All right. So the reason I wish the audio for this session worked is because, like I said, you wouldn't have when we first started doing this, starting from the first. Let's click this up. These first from the 808 to the arrow or pattern one, whatever you want to say, right? You would have been like, there's no way that you're about to turn this into something, right? I mean, just judging off of it. And then I came in and then added these because the 808 and the Blue Sunday were competing for sound frequencies, because the 808 is, if you know anything about sound frequencies, the 808 is on the low end of the frequency chart, and the Blue Sunday, which is the bass, we're calling it the bass guitar on this, is also on the low end of the sound frequencies. So they're competing for the space. And I had to do a workaround, and because of the workaround, we had that I'm just gonna call it tracks for the sake of, or so I had one track and then I had another track, right? So the first track consisted of this one, or pattern 1, 2, 3, and then let's see, what is this? 5 and 6, right? And then the other track consisted of, this is 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you had two different sounds that you was listening to from when this track played, and then when it hit 9 and started playing the other track, you'd have been like, there's no way you're turning this into something. And that's what we did. I showed you guys, I was showing you guys there's like 3 or 4 different ways I could have went with this beat, and I was just like, you know what, I've already crossed this bridge once, because I have a beat that's already similar to this, and this is I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna hold the mic so I can talk. But this is what I pretty much came up with. So we're gonna call this the intro. This first whole pattern, we're gonna call this the intro. We're gonna call this right here is the verse. That's how we're gonna do this. So coming into the verse. Like I said, I make beats like this every once in a while. So already we'll pick up right there here in a sec. That way I can talk because I feel like I was yelling. But anyways, so just dealing with that alone, like I already knew how to combat that. Even though I'm still in the same key that I need to be in. I already knew how to combat that. You heard how low the 808 is, so you know that this Blue Sunday is when I hit play is gonna be pretty damn low. So let's listen to We'll start right there here in a minute. I'm gonna put the mic down so I can move right. So I said it at the beginning of the second verse. So, anyways, as you can see, that second verse sounds way different from what we literally started off with, right? And then when as soon as it hit towards the end of the first verse, I'd already started going into the ARP that I'm using in the chorus. And I'm already using an instrument that I'm using in the chorus, and I'm using an instrument that I'm using in both the chorus and in the second verse. So I'm already transitioning you from verse 1 and what's going on in the verse from this ARP while still keeping the main pattern. you know I'm transitioning you from this right here. I'm transitioning you from that into this sound right here. Right. So a lot of it's having the know-how I listen to, like I say, I listen to everything. I listen to K-pop, J-pop, classical music, metal of pretty much every genre of metal. I listen to hip hop, both mainstream, underground, indie. I listen to horrorcore, hip hop. I listen to a little bit of everything. I listen to a little bit of country, not a lot of this new stuff, but I listen to some older country and stuff like that. Funk, blues, reggae, everything. Like pretty much if it's got music to it, I listen to it. Because it helps me to come up with ideas to when I'm going into making arrangements and stuff like that. So this whole thing right here with the transitioning and stuff like that, without having transitions in here to do that, you would probably hear that in K-pop and J-pop a lot, right? Especially if you watch anime. Like if you watch anime, you heard K-pop and J-pop. Like for a fact, like if you listen to Baby Metal, like they go from and I forgot what that metal band's called over in Japan, but like they're like really really, it's like death metal, right? And then like some of their choruses are like just completely pop, like the J-pop stuff, right? And then it just goes back into like this low growl yelling and chaos and stuff, right? So yeah, I mean they do transitions without having to put a transition in. So we're gonna pick up right here at the bridge part of verse 2, right? What we're gonna do actually, we're gonna come back here a little bit. So and then we're gonna let it go into the bridge of verse 2. Now explain this part of verse 2. What we're saying here. So I'm gonna set my mic down so I can move this, right? So what we're looking at right here, right? From 89 to 105, right? So we know 1, 2, 3 for the verse, 4 is the ending of the verse, right? The bridge, if we'll call this the bridge of the verse, right? So 3 for the verse, the fourth is the bridge, and then we come into this right here. This is 2. That's the, we're gonna call this the breakdown, right? Or the chill down, or whatever you want to call it, right? This section, there's no beat there, no clap, no kick, no nothing. It's just 3 instruments and letting them play, letting you vibe to it, whatever. Then it just, from here, it goes into the 2 instruments for, we're gonna call this little section right here 1 measure, or I know for a fact, it's 4 measures, but we're gonna call this whole section 1 measure, just for the sake of because it might actually be like one measure. I don't know. I get mixed up with that. But so this measure, whatever, it's just two instruments. I throw in the claps. Boom. Got what I'm calling the measure right here, and then boom, the last chorus. What I did was recycled this art, this pattern. The only other time you see it is in this area twice, two times is the only time you hear it, and it's in the beginning section to tie into the rest of the song, and at the end to help bring the song out. And you don't hear it you don't hear it after the last chorus. You do not hear it. So after the second chorus, there is no more of this, no more of that arp. So we know how the chorus sounds, right? So I'm just gonna let it walk out. This is the intro or the outro. Yeah, just playing around with it right here. That's all I'm doing out in the outro. I'll bring us in so you can kind of see what I did with the bass, and I'll do the same with the piano too. The arp's explanatory. We'll look at the other arp so you can see. We'll look at one of the arps so you can see two of the arps. We'll look at two of the arps because the other ones are kind of self-explanatory. They're right there. Like one's just like this whole excuse me, it's like this whole measure, and it just the chords just keep going like that, right? So right, I do some chopping so it gets that, like, if you was listening to an actual bass guitar or even a regular guitar, you can actually do this on the guitar. If I wanted to, I would take these notes and I would throw them on an instrument that has a palm mute, and that's what that would be, is a palm mute. But instead of doing a palm mute, I'm just stuttering it. I guess is what we're gonna call that. Stuttered it, right? So let's look at the piano. Simple. Strum the chords. Throw in the notes. Adjust the velocity, the volume. Right? Helps give it a more realistic sound, a more realistic feel to it. Alright, we're going to look at the art. Mysterious bubble. This is what I did. Something simple. This was simple and quick. this out a little bit more. We'll see what I did. Root note. The other note, other two notes in that chord, and then the root note again. Octave higher. Actually, 2 octaves higher, I believe. Yep, 2 octaves higher. Same concept. The whole way. Across the board. Same concept. Easy peasy. Simple. This harp, instead of playing right here, the reason behind that, it helps give, first off, it opens up space for what I'm doing in terms of, all right, I got the bass guitar going right here, you know, so it's opening up space for my bass guitar. And of course, you can hear the notes stutter even if the ARP's playing. But on top of that, it's helping this ARP out right here. That's the reason that this one got pushed back where it did. That's why it's right here instead of right there. I could have said it right there. It would have still sounded good. It would have worked. But it works right here. Even better. It's still open. It's just really opened up having it right here instead of right here. That's a concept that works a whole lot better, I've found. I'm gonna sit up so I'm not feeling like I'm lazy while I'm talking. But yeah, that concept works when doing certain stuff. Cause then if I wanted to, with this pad, this ARP, I could still combo it with this pattern right here, and it's not gonna affect it any. So to show you what I mean, we're gonna do it out here. We'll come out here, we'll click this. Yeah, put where'd that go? Put a space in. We'll put a space right there. Boom. Throw that there. Give me one. We'll look at it. You see, they're not stepping on each other's toes. That's the concept behind having it here compared to right there. Like I said, most people know that. If you didn't, now you do know. So yeah, it's just something to, like a little tip slash trick. Put it in your notebook, whatever. But anyways, it's getting kind of late, and I'm pretty sure this video's entirely too long. So, yeah, I wish I could have actually been able to use the content for the making of this. It would have been nice to have or whatever, but I don't want to have content where you can't hear the instrument as it's playing. That's, yeah, that's not cool. So, excuse me. I hope you guys enjoyed or whatever, and yeah, I'll try to make sure that this technical stuff don't happen again. So, until next time, thanks for watching.